So the feedlot industry normally wants to stay quiet, right? They're out in Amarillo, they're out in Kansas City, they're out west. Those are areas that are prime for raising cattle, Nebraska, because not a lot of people, open land, they can go in there and do what they want. They can hide all their dirty secrets. They can pump beef into the marketplace, and they don't really situate that aspect of the business.
Now tell me, I'm going to steer a little off course just a little bit.
All right.
After these feedlots, can they go spend 6 months on grass and be called grass-fed?
Yes. Oh,
Because
for sure.
they were fed grass,
Wait,
but they're not.
stop. It's not 6 months. It's 21 days. Read
What?
the USDA paperwork.
No, that's what you're for.
The USDA standard says grass-fed, grass-finished is a cow that was born on grass and spent the last 21 days of its life on grass. So yes, I don't think this feedlot is going to be in that market. But let's say they were, and they were like, all right, we're going to take 30 of these cows, 40,000 of these cows out of the 150, and we're going to send them over to our buddy's pasture, and they're going to spend 21 days on the pasture. So then these cows will go to the market as grass-fed, grass-finished cows, while the rest of them just go as cows. So yes, they may do that. I don't know if that's in their business plan for Black Shirt, but they're fixing to start flooding the market. Now, this is in the same era, guys, that they're preaching the Green New Deal. Kamala's talking about limiting beef consumption. Bill Gates is putting out fake meat. They're telling us how cows are killing the planet. If all that is true, how in the Hades did this place just get passed by the EPA, the FDA, the Board of Nebraska, the Republican Board of Livestock Automation? A bunch of people signed off on this deal, and this is foreign investors on American soil. We talk about China owning farmland and other countries owning farmland. The Canadians, sorry, Pat, y'all are just as bad. Y'all are just as bad as China, all right? Canadians should not own 150,000 head of our American beef. It shouldn't happen.
That is strange. I didn't know that either. See, like normal people who assume, I assume that I follow the news pretty well. That I didn't know.
They don't talk about
They
it.
don't.
When you think of this, the American worker, America, what are the first two things you think of? I know the first two things I think of.
The flag, and I think of land.
I think of the steel mill worker and a farmer. When I think, I don't think about the grocery store worker, the hardware store man, or a mechanic.
But you're important too. We love you guys. Thank you.
No, everybody is. But when you think of American workforce,
yeah.
right? The steel mill worker,
Yes.
they built the railroad tracks, they built trains. America was built on the back of steel mills, and the farmer, the rancher, farming and ranching.
Yep.
That's what I think of. So when I started to find out that Smithfield Farms is completely owned by the People's Republic of China, the largest pork producer in America is owned by the People's Republic of China. And now the largest feedlot cattle operation is owned by a group of investors who happen to be veterinarians. So, woo, they get a pass. Canadian bastards.
Well, their meat does not taste as good as yours.
No, of course not. And that's why it's so important to shop local. It really is. I'm not saying that just because I have a local shop. Like I tell people, I need your money. I want your money.
But you're also providing something that nobody else
Yes,
can.
but
for
what I'm
us.
saying is for people who can't get to me for whatever reason, or you can't afford my price point, or you just don't want anything shipped to you for whatever reason,
Go take care of your farmer.
find a farmer in your area. Now,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean go find a local butcher shop because
I
it'll break
learned
your
this
heart.
too.
It'll break your heart. And that's why in that song we posted, I put, just for the record, not all mom and pops have given in. Some of us still fight the good fight. A lot of small mom and pop meat shops or grocery stores aren't selling local stuff.
Why do you think you can buy it in a box that's already frozen? Because it's not local.
Right. And yeah, I mean, okay, that makes sense. But local people do free stuff. Like we have freezer cells.
Okay, so one
Yeah.
specific one in Central Florida that I'm thinking of.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
get
I know what you're talking
like
about.
40 cents a pound
Yes.
chicken, and
Yeah.
you go only buy it in 40 pounds.
Right, because it came in a 40-pound box to them,
To-
frozen,
frozen,
and you got to
and they've
dethaw. You got to dethaw the 40-pound box, and then break it up yourself and then refreeze it. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good price. It didn't taste bad, but I had not had organic meat at that point.
All right, I got you.
We don't buy from them anymore.
Thank you. I hope not. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I'd have to fire you.
Yeah, we're good.
I got it.
I don't even buy meat from Aldi anymore.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Aldi's owned by the Germans. Now, I'm not picking on Aldi's right now just because you said it.
You made bread and orange juice.
Have you had our banana bread we make now? Lily makes sticky bread.
Do you know how many loaves of bread I go through a week making sandwiches for lunch?
This isn't sandwich bread. This is sticky banana bread.
Right. No, I have had that, and it's wonderful. But you don't sell sliced bread.
We're going to start. We're buying a bread maker.
Okay. There's no way y'all will be able to keep up with my family, so I will have to continue to buy my
I understand,
because
we're not going to be able to sell you bread for 79 cents a loaf.
No, well, it's $1.40, I think, but yeah.
That's still not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah, most places are like $2.99 for bread.
I mean, we're just putting crap on it anyways, slapping it together and sending it off, you know?
Yeah,
so
I understand. I get it.
Okay.
And I don't, listen, I was raised that way. Even though I was raised on a farm, my dad grew sugar cane, we had pigs, we had ducks, we had geese, we had rabbits. We had all kind of stuff. We ate plenty of Spam sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, hams. I mean, you know, we
it's a lot of peanut butter and jelly.
But here's the thing: back in the '80s, I was born in '77. Back in the '80s, there wasn't 97 ingredients on the back of the peanut butter jar. There wasn't 5,000 ingredients on the loaf of bread. You know, and we used to go get our donuts and our other breads from the guy in Pahokee that baked bread. And my dad would go down there on Sunday, or my mom would go down there on Sunday, and we get fresh baked donuts and different things that the guy was making right there in the store. So bread today, peanut butter today, jelly today is different, but we still have this conception in our mind that peanut butter and jelly's not that bad for us. You know, it's kind of okay. Anyway, I don't want to get on that sidetrack right now, but shop local, support local if you can. It's very important because the only way to make a change is to make a change. So you have to stop supporting the big companies in order for them to not be big companies anymore. It's that elementary, my dear Watson. It's that elementary. The more they lose, the more sales they stop having, the less product they produce. They have to start releasing some of their lands. It gives an opportunity for other people to buy them. Hopefully small guys can buy them and break. And I don't know the answer because as I'm sitting here telling you this, the first thing I thought is, wow, they're going to lay off 3,000 employees. And now we have 3,000 more Americans without work or 3,000 more migrants without without work. So I don't know what the answer is anymore. We've gotten to that point that life is completely out of control. Like, we really need to hit the brakes, shut everything down, and start over. I don't know how we survived that. While I was looking this story up, a thing popped up about the fairness or the fair rate of farm rent. So I was like, oh, cool, let me look that up. Because I have different leases. I have one lease that I pay the taxes on the land because they get ag taxes. So instead of paying like $2,700, it's like $340.
Oh,
so
nice.
I pay the ag taxes. I take care of the perimeter, and the guy gets a half a cow a year. And then I have
that's a sweet deal.
Yeah, and then I have some people that are like, we don't want a side of beef. Just give us $400 a month. 12 months, $4,800. Like, is that something we can afford? It may not sound like a lot, but when you think, okay, that's taking a cow and a half out of income, right? So on that piece of land, can you raise enough cows to sacrifice a cow and a half? Because you still got to maintain the border, the waterways, the road, all that,
right, on
top of paying the rent or the lease and giving up an animal. So it's weird, but and that's why I hate it. I really do. But I understand why so many people with land are just giving in and selling the land for commercial development. Because you got a farmer out there paying you like $4,000 a year, maybe $5,000 a year. Some guy walks up and offers you $3 million.
I mean, I get it.
I do. It breaks my heart because a farmer cannot offer you that. The only thing we can offer you is honest, hard work on your land and to be a good steward with your land. And hopefully that means something to you and your family. Is it worth $2 million to you? I hope so, because I'm losing land. We just lost another 60 acres. We're down. We're losing land. We looked at some land in Alabama that was pretty inexpensive, not to move there.
Okay.
But
You're not allowed to move.
No, but a place to put to fence in and start grazing cows and putting some pigs in. But that's cumbersome because now you got to find a caretaker and somebody up there that can help because you can't drive to Alabama every day or every other day. We're also looking for something in Fort Walton, around the Fort Walton area. So if you got some land, holler at a player.
How much land do you need?
I would like at least 30 to 50 acres.
Okay.
Yeah. If it was somewhere.
Can there be trees on it? Can it be like a forest land?
Well, as long as they don't mind me clearing some of it for a pasture, because cows can't eat trees. They need some pasture land. They need some grass.
Never had a cow. I don't know what they eat.
But this is something that was funny to me when I was looking at this story and going over it, the rent of land. And then it said, people also ask, this is the Googler thing. People also ask, what is the definition of a farm? And I was like, what? Who asked that? Like, there's no way. Enough people Google, what is the definition of a farm, that it is the #1 trending thing under farms.
Among 5-year-olds, right?
I don't know. It doesn't tell me unless you know how to read that.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
In case anybody's wondering, a farm, according to Google, is a plot of land that is used to grow crops and raise livestock. As in on our farm, we raise sheep and sell their wool. The word farm is also used as a verb to mean to work land, to grow crops, or to raise animals.
So is my garden considered a farm?
Garden. But yeah, farm is a farm. You're farming.
I'm farming.
We would like to say
farmer.
We would like to say gardening because it's a small scale operation, but I'll give you the credit. I'll give you the street cred. You're a farmer.
I need a goat.
Do you wear your overalls when you're out there in your Chuck Taylors?
No.
And your wife beater?
No.
What are you farming? You drove to my farm in overalls and a wife beater.
Well, because that was the uniform. I was going to a real farm, not a garden.
I still want to know who gave. This is a sad story. I don't know if you heard about this. This is out of Vermont's own WCAX3.
I don't know what that is.
That's Vermont's own local news station, WCAX3.
Okay.
Wonder if John owns that.
Unlikely.
So this is out of Essex, Vermont. A local farmer and the police are looking for answers. If you're listening to me in Vermont and you know something, say something. This is terrible. This is a small family farm that grows their own hay, bales their own hay. They sell some off for revenue. They keep the rest for their animals. Now, if you know you up north, in Florida, it's different. Florida, Alabama, Georgia, you see hay bales out just open in the air, right? That's different type of hay deal we got. When you go up north, because of the snow and different things, they also ferment some of their hay up there. You'll see them wrapped in those big white plastic wraps. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Okay. That is a process that seals everything in. It keeps the oxygen out. It makes the hay stay better for a lot longer time.
What about rats?
Rats normally don't get in hay, normally.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never really had a rat problem in my hay bales. They're wound really tight.
Okay.
And normally the rats are eating other things. If someone has a problem with rats, let me know. I've never had a problem with rats.
Okay. I just thought that's what they did. I was told you don't play in hay because I clearly somebody just did not want me playing in hay, and I held on to that. Continue.
Yeah. Now it may be something different if you're storing hay in a big barn in a closed damn area, and the rats get in the barn, and yeah, they'll go into the hay and make a bed, and they'll have babies there, and they'll live there. So yes, that could be true. But normally our bales of hay that we line up on the fence line. We're also driving trucks by there every day, tractors by there every day. People are walking by there. The cows are moving around. So I've never had a rat problem. That doesn't mean I've never had a rat. I'm just saying I've never had a rat infestation in my hay.
Right. Okay.
All right? Maybe up north that's something different. I don't know. You were from Pennsylvania?
I'm not from there. I just lived there for a bunch of years.
Okay. So they wrap them in white plastic to keep the oxygen out, to help them to ferment. It makes better quality hay. It gives more nutrition and more weight gain to the animal through the winter. Now, in Vermont, during the hard freeze, you can't just go out and buy new hay or grow new hay. You have to be prepared. Like squirrels and chipmunks putting nuts away for the winter, farmers stack hay all spring, summer, and fall to survive the winter.
I did not know that was the difference. I've seen those. I saw a lot of those, but I just thought, there was a different way of baling hay.
No, that's a process you do to help that hay ferment, and it opens up and it adds things that help the cow with the digestion and the ingestion of the proteins and the fibers and the fats that are in the grass, so they gain more weight faster.
I'm glad you explained that because I was thinking the cows were getting drunk.
No, they're not getting drunk.
Okay.
That's not fermented that much. I've never had hay whiskey. I've had corn whiskey, but never had hay whiskey. 58 of his bales, someone went by with a knife and slashed all the plastic open on his fence line. He just found it. The hay's ruined.
How long ago was that?
He just found it a couple days ago. We actually just found it yesterday. But appearing to the mold, and because see, here's what happens with plastic. When it's wrapped completely tight like that, you don't have that moisture build up, that sweat, right? Because there ain't no oxygen in it. When they come through and cut it, or they get ripped by the machine or the tractor, or they get damaged, now that allows the outside air in. So now condensation starts, and mold and fungus starts to grow, and it really starts to ruin that hay quick. I mean, you'll ruin a bale of hay quick. These bales are worth $75 a bale. There's 58 of them. Now he'll be lucky to sell them for $5. He said, I'm not worried so much about the money as I am about the blood, sweat, tears, and long work. He said, my wife and I grew this hay by ourselves. We didn't have the money this year because of all the bad things in farms. You know, they say how great farms are doing under Joe Biden, but the reality of it, we're almost in a farm depression. He said, we had no money for labor this year, so my wife and I did it all ourselves. We took care of it, cultivated it, kept it clean. We harvested it. Some nights we had a babysitter from church. We worked till 1, 2 in the morning baling hay to get all our hay in for the season. To lose 58 bales is more than a third of our hay we need to get through the winter or to sell for income. It is too late to replant, regrow, reharvest. This is a total loss.
That's a shame.
If you're in Essex and you know something about the Lawrence Family Farm incident, please contact them. What a bunch of scrap.
Where's that? That's in
Lawrence Family Farms in Essex, E-S-S-E-X.
Essex where? Florida?
Vermont.
Georgia? Vermont. Okay, gotcha.
Essex, Vermont.
Gotcha.
It's just like, what a crap hole person to go by and intentionally sabotage,
So
ruin
rude.
someone's hard work on the farm. Farm crimes are a real deal. They happen all the time.
I believe you.
When we get right back, we're going to talk about our Fort Walton trip and Tyson Foods. They suck. And did you know there's a pepper that can save your life? Really good for you.